You're here. We're here today to talk about making decisions. This is Coach Manny, and the title of today's video is Getting Employees to Make Decisions. Now, I've been getting this question from a bunch of my clients and people I work with about decision making. So it was deja vu, kind of took me back to the days when I couldn't make a decision. So today's video training is really on how to get your employees to make decisions. But let me start with the story of in my first management job. I was doing okay, I thought, and I went into a review with my boss, and my boss said, "Manny, you're doing well, but you can't make a decision. You want me to make them, you want someone else to make them. You got to learn how to make a decision." And I quoted him in my book, Failure Creates Success. If you've read it, you saw the story in the front where Nate simply said, let me find this. Make a decision now. If you make the wrong decision, guess what? You can make another decision to fix it. But if you don't make a decision, then nothing's going to happen. You see, I think what happens is we grow up in an environment where a lot of times all the decisions are made for us. And so when we get to that stage where I got to make a decision, we don't know what to do. So we're going to train you on a few little things today, just a few ways that maybe you can get your employees to move faster, further, and quicker. Number one is you've got to set up that environment. So you got to sit down and you got to set up an environment where your employees can make a decision. You got to accept the philosophy that it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission. Now, we all know there's some employees that naturally have that, but most don't. So you got to set it up. Look, I'm not going to give you a hard time if the decision is wrong. But what I'm going to do is if you don't make a decision, then I'm going to give you a hard time. Now, if you make a decision and it's wrong, it's okay. Now, I don't expect you to make the same mistake over and over again. I expect you to learn. But make a decision. That's what I need you to do. Second point is you've got to learn to forgive them and forget. Don't throw things up at them. Don't bring it back up because they made a decision and it ended up costing you $100 and you weren't happy about it. Okay, but they made the decision. They learned how to make stuff happen, and then like they made a decision. Let's look at an example. I made a decision and I spent $100 that I shouldn't have. Well, make a decision. Get back on the phone and get the money back. Right? That's the kind of stuff you can do. But you've got to forgive them. You can't hold it over them. And you've got to help them learn to do this again and again and again. You got to spend time with your team in meetings and say, look, one of the top priorities we've got is learning how to make decisions. Now, what's going to happen moving forward is if you don't make a decision, you're going to be sitting on the carpet. If you make a decision and it's wrong, we're going to talk about it, we're going to figure it out, and we're going to move forward. But chances are, you're not going to make the wrong decision. I want you to make decisions. And that's the environment that you've got to create. I know it's not always as easy as we think, but that's your tip for today. And I want you to work with your team because this is a problem we're seeing in more and more organizations. It's a fundamental problem of the education system not allowing people to make decisions. So start working with your team a little bit at a time. And if you need some help, we're always here. And get the book. I'll put the link down the bottom. Failure Creates Success. It is about making decisions. This is Coach Manny saying, 5 minutes for you.